welcome to another video for Auto Solutions Checkpoint and another episode, and it's a long-awaited episode of In the Driver's Seat. Now, let's have a chat. I've not been doing as much videos on my YouTube. This year has been touch and go, mentally and physically, and I've just been battering on with jobs that come in and no recording. So just because I'm not putting videos up doesn't mean to say I'm not working like mad in the background. I've been doing so much just to keep my head above the water. It was a big impact last year losing that unit, because it was such a great unit, such a great base for me to do what I'm doing, you know. And I just lately it's been very kind of steady and boring. There's long established businesses in this town, you know, and what I find with the town is anything new, excuse the French, but they suck the arse clean out of it, you know. So they'll try and get what they can from that business, and then when that business basically has no much more to give, they'll move on to the next one. And I know that sounds quite bad, but that's what I feel. Because bear in mind, I've had a different business in this town before, and it was exactly the same. They're no interested in paying you, you know. They just come out, try and be your friend, and try and get parts or flipping whatever for free. You know, it doesn't wash with me, because I've got bills to pay, I've got a mortgage to pay, I've got a family to keep a roof over their head, you know, I've got quite a lot of responsibilities. Plus, I want to live as well, you know. I'd like to live a little and enjoy what I earn, and not have people muscling in trying to get stuff for free. It's not happening. So it's been touch and go this year. You know, started the year with me not being well, and eventually started getting back on track around March time. Then it took a wee dip in April, and then in May it was picking up. But it slowed down for a wee bit. The sales side of things picked up. You know, I got rid of a Cerebita, an Astra. In fact, I got rid of two Astras. I got rid of a Mini. What else did I get rid of? Oh, I got rid of I got rid of two crew cab transits. One of them, I was supposed to do a video. In fact, I think I'll still edit the video and put it up, because I've still got the footage. Basically what it was replacing a turbo on the Euro 5, I think it was a Euro 5 Transit, Euro 5 Transit, and I was going to rebuild the turbo, but I ended up breaking a component that I needed for the new core. So I ended up buying a new turbo for it, just doing it that way. So it's been swings and roundabouts, but that's what it is. I sold another pickup Transit, and I bought another few cars, but one of them was a Mini Cooper S. Beautiful little car, 2008. It was running rough, and I managed to get it running good. Right, I used steel seal and got rid of the misfire and had it running fine. And my big pal was through visiting. Well, he was actually through to rob bits off a car that I was breaking, you know. But I was letting him hear it run, and a wee bit of the boy racer came out at me, and I gave it a couple of limiters. And what happened? Have a guess. It dropped a valve. Raging, absolutely raging. But on the plus side, I would have hazarded a guess that I would have got about $2,500 minimum for that, because it had a full service history, and the panels on it were flawless. Not a dent, not a stone chip, not a scrape. Very good condition. You know, I would have done really well out of it. However, breaking it down for parts is a good little learner as well, because already I've made double what I've paid for it, and I've only removed a couple of things like the bonnet and the back bumper, and all the rest is kind of sitting there ready to get sold. So I have a good feeling that I'll make a decent bit of money out of that. I bought a Cleanwell power washer, and it's one of the ones that heats up on diesel. Now I can't get it heating up. I've managed to get pressure going through it, but I can't get it heated up, so it's just trial and error. I've never worked on one before, so there's a few things I want to replace on it. They come at a price, so, and I don't really know what I'm doing testing the likes. In fact, what I'll do, I'll just watch YouTube and see what somebody else is doing, testing capacitors, seeing how to test the capacitors. Also bought a family caravan as well, and took the family away, and it's been great. So we've got another few holidays booked, over the summertime while the kids are off. There's been a lot of stuff happening. Also got another caravan before that. I bought it and it was damp and it was needing work, but I managed to sell it to my friend for what I paid for it, because he's a good friend and I didn't want to kind of rip the piss. So he knew how much I paid for it. That's how much he got it for. So it's been a very good help to him anyway. Bye. So there's been another few places that I went to see. I went to see a yard which doesn't have any fences or whatever, and the guy says he can make it all happen, but I don't know, I just don't think my stuff will be safe down there. He's talking about building units down there in the spring next year. I don't know, I just get bad vibes from the place, so I don't know, we'll see what happens. Then there was another one in the next town, and it's on the edge of town, and the guy that owns it, I had to do a bit of digging, put a post up online to see if anybody knows who owns that ground, and this business was tagged. I looked at it, the company's house, and it folded years ago, so what I done was I went on the company's house looking similar names and managed to find one in the same town. Now lo and behold, I managed to get through to them, and the guy that answered, turned out he's the one that owns it. So he was supposed to get back to me about the bit of ground. He was looking out the paperwork to see what was what with it, but he hasn't as yet, and that's been nearly 2 weeks. So he's a busy man probably, or he's forgot about it or whatever, but I'll give it another couple of weeks and I'll give him a phone. But you couldn't have got more a transparent person that I spoke to on the phone. He was brutally honest about the place. He says, look, whenever they used it, his place was getting broken into all the time, and you know, his stuff wasn't safe because it's on the end of town. It was targeted, and they had a shed in it at one stage, and the shed got burnt out as well. But I went down to look at it, and there's not good fencing around it. It's just like little farm fencing all the way around it, but it is a good sized yard. So I was thinking, if he did get back to me with a reasonable price, and it wasn't going to be absolutely mental, right, I would consider getting some palisade fencing and fencing it off, and hopefully make something decent out of it, you know. But as yet, every unit I've found on the internet is no motor trade. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, I wouldn't say I would be a complete pain in the arse to have as a tenant, you know. I like to keep the place tidy, and, you know, because at the end of the day it's all about presentation. If I've got customers coming in, or just people coming in making inquiries and that, I want the place looking nice, I want the place looking presentable. I just really wish that, see the landlord that turfed me out of that other place, because I've no basically recovered from that, to be honest. I'm no kidding you on, you know, it's been mega tough. But it'd be good if he got back to me and had a reasonable price to buy the place, but it was just, he was wanting a ridiculous amount for that place, and it just wasn't worth it, you know. It really wasn't. He has in his head that was worth that, you know. But mind you, whenever he told me how much he was wanting for it, he had a B in his bonnet, so it's maybe just out of badness he's told me he's wanted that or whatever. But at the end of the day, if he did sell me it, I would have no problem letting him use some of it. Like, he helped me out whenever I was looking for a place. I ended up getting that place, you know, I could return the favour. But people aren't wired up right, to be honest. No disrespect to him, but you know, I've always been brought up to respect people, give and take, should I say. One of them things that's uncertain in life is how long we've got here, you know. And I just feel like from I lost the garage, I've been doing a lot of soul searching and that as well, trying to keep myself occupied and keep my head afloat. The business is steady. I wouldn't say it's booming, but it's better that way, because it means I can come home for a reasonable time, spend time with the family, and that's what it's all about. Just seems to be a constant battle, day in, day out, to get through all the jobs that I've booked in, plus look for a new place, a new unit, and be a dad. It's a big struggle, being there for your family but having the weight of the world on your shoulders at the same time. Nobody that isn't in this situation won't know, so they can make their own judgments or whatever, but if you're not in that situation, your argument's void. But it is tough, and whoever says it isn't, go and give your head a rattle and shove these up your backside, because I, for one, never ever expect to go through this ever again. Hopefully whenever I get a unit, I'll not need to have the weight of this on my shoulders. One of my friends had sent me a link to somebody's post they put up on their private page, Now the guy is quite a successful guy. He runs like powder coating business and I don't know, repaints, I'm not sure, remapping, I'm not sure. But they sent me his post, so I got in contact with him and tried to add him, and he never added me, but he replied to my message, sent me pictures of this unit. Aye, lovely unit, freshly painted, but what a load of crap. Like, see what was on offer was actually smaller than what I was getting offered in a decent area, and it was flipping half the price. Like, I'm talking literally half the price that he was wanting for it. In fact, it was more than half the price. I think it was like £1,300 a month he was wanting for it, which I think absolutely taking advantage. But at the end of the day, there is people out there that are still taking advantage. But I've seen with house properties and that, there's a big demand for house properties to rent, let and whatever, but landlords are just selling up. They're completely fed up with the way things are going. They're not being able to get the money in. There's people ending up on the streets. Now, I'm far away from living on the streets, I can tell you, partly because I've got my head screwed on. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't take drugs. I'm wise with my money to a degree. However, I've got car owner virus. Right? Some people think I'm a millionaire. Oh, you've got all these cars and that, you must be loaded. No, I'm highly irresponsible. But that's another story. As long as my kids have clothes on their back, we've got a roof over our head, and my missus is happy, then that's all that counts. Every day is a big war trying to find somewhere, and then getting the knockbacks whenever people message back, oh, no motor trade, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, whatever. How are you expecting businesses to survive? And half the time, see these idiots that rent these places out, they need garages at some stage. Is it going to get to the stage where every place will be no motor trade, and then motor trade will have nowhere to work? If you set rules in place, if the rules are followed, there's no problem. If the rules are broken, then they've breached their contract and you can send them on their way. Shouldn't be turning people away, being like kind of tradist. They don't want motor trade on their property. So we've got a little holiday booked with the kids and the missus, and we're going away for a week. Whenever I get back, that'll be it. Claws in and try my best to find somewhere, get the wheels in motion. It's happening again, right? Well, I class myself as being quite generous. I like being generous and I like treating people the way I want to be treated, and I treat everybody the same until I find out they're an arsehole. I just find it's happening again. See, from I started dismantling them cars, there's folk coming out the woodwork, oh pal, mate, buddy, flipping whatever, right? And they would maybe get something from you and then expect everything else free. It's like, no mate, you bought a couple of things, doesn't entitle you to the whole car and you can help yourself. That Mini, for example, that Mini has been a prime example. I've had folks showing up, mate, buddy, fucking hissing, you know what I mean, like a big snake. It's like, no way. I work too hard. And see, to be honest, it goes back to the, I'm not loaded, right? I'm just irresponsible with the cars that I buy. But at the end of the day, I'm charitable enough. I'm no free train. And these people are going to need to realise this year really, really quick, because I need to make money every single day. It's not as if I've been handed the golden spoon and, you know, not needed the one for anything in my life. It's been blood, sweat and tears. I've been at my all-time lowest with nothing and in debt, and I've managed to get myself back on my feet again and ended up back in debt and then back on my feet again. See, now I've got no debt and I can sleep comfortably knowing that I've worked hard. But at the same time, I need to keep that going like that, and I can't be held back by people that don't appreciate me and think they can rip the complete arse out of it. They can pen something up, they will be like 50 quid, and they went into camouflage mode for years and years and years. And see, to be honest, that's money well spent. See if you can see who your friends are and that stick about and don't rip the piss. But see, the ones that can avoid you for 50 quid, they're absolute scumbags. Right? And I managed 8 years. Some dude owed me 50 quid, and I actually seen him in my friend's street, and I pulled him up about it. And he's like, no, you're no right. I'm like, I'm 100% right. I jot everything down, especially when it comes to money. Don't ever mess me about with money. So eventually he caved in and gave me the money that he owed me. I'm not going to let that lie. £10, £100, £1,000, doesn't matter. If you owe me, you owe me, and I will get it back one way or the other. Just these idiots that seem to think they can rip the piss and run away when they owe you stuff. I want to make something of my life, and I feel that people are holding me back because they don't appreciate me and they want me just to fold over and bleed me dry for whatever they can. It's no happening. So see, between battling that and everything else, I do feel like I'm a loose cannon. It's like you back a lion into the corner, right? The lion is going to attack. So it's the start of the school holidays and the kids are all psyched because they're off school. But it's added pressure on all the parents as well, especially if you don't have childcare in place. It can be a bit of a strain on you. You just got to do what you got to do. If you love your kids, you'll do anything for your kids, and as long as it makes them happy. So I don't mind working longer hours throughout the summertime on certain days and taking days off as well. Then that means I can get to spend full days with my kids. Like yesterday, I took a day off and I was able to spend the day with the kids. Fair enough, it rained, it lashed down, which isn't surprising, but I took them to the cinema in the afternoon and they had a ball. They had an absolute ball. We actually bought cinema popcorn and juice and that. You really feel like you need to remortgage after getting that bill in. But today the weather's actually quite nice. I don't know what degrees it is because I haven't worked out where it tells you on an L200 what the degrees is. I'm just on my way up to a job now. Should be a nice easy one. If you're a long-standing subscriber to the channel and you can still see me, please mention in the comments that you can still see me, because I want to actually see who's watching me and who isn't. You know, the chances are nobody will comment as per usual, but you let me know how yous have been as well. Enough about me. I want to interact with you and let me know about your experiences, things you've been going through. What I noticed about the channel was it's kind of sticking around the same amount of subscribers, and I've been checking. I've lost a handful of them and then they come back, and then maybe I lose a couple and then they come back as well. So I don't know what the deal is there. I really don't. If you interact, you know, this is a thing. I really want people to interact with my videos, and at least you know, I can help people out, you know. But I've been thinking, like, see, whenever you're subscribed to the channel, if you hit the wee bell down below, and you'll be able to get notifications, all notifications. Anytime I put something up, you'll be able to see it. People are getting lost and they're not seeing my videos or whatever, because like there's actually been folk that I know from years and years and years ago. They managed to find me on this, you know, and you know, I've replied continuously anytime they've commented on things, and I've not had a reply, and I think it's because they haven't pressed that bell button, because I would like to keep in touch with them, because we lost contact years and years and years ago. But anyway, I just thought I'd keep you updated. There's not really any updates to the unit, but I'm still soldiering on, still working away, and still keeping it real. A lot of people say, oh, you make good money on YouTube. I'm not bothered about the money side of things. I'm bothered about my reach. I want to get people to my channel, and I want to help people. I don't claim to be the perfect mechanic, you know, I'm trying. You know, I done my City Guilds in the 90s, so looking at it that way, I've learned everything through watching YouTube videos and that. You learn a lot, and at the end of the day, I'm always going to remain humble. You know, don't claim to be better than anybody else, but you do get some idiots that would comment and try and show you up. Oh, that's not the way to do it, you done that wrong, whatever. Shut up and just flipping be quiet. But it's good actually being able to help people. But see, the people that I help as well, 9 times out of 10 they don't subscribe, you know. And I think at the moment there's something like 80% of my return audience are not subscribed. So there's people that are watching my videos and keeping coming back, right, without subscribing. What is all that about? You know, you'd be really helping me out if you would just press the subscribe button. You know, it just seems to be, it's like drawing teeth. And then there's other things. I put short videos up, you know, and it could be like an inspirational quote or whatever, but there just seems, I think it's just one person, because I've got my YouTube studio and it kind of hazards if it's one person or many people, right? And it seems to be the same person that's disliking my videos. I didn't even know that was a thing, but if you're going onto it from a laptop, you have a dislike button as well. But people are disliking my videos, and see, at the end of the day, if that's what floats your boat, if you think you're so superior, hitting dislike buttons and that, just because you're bitter and twisted, you crack on, mate. Honestly, you're probably one of them ones that leave bad reviews on people's business pages just to be an arse. But hey ho, we can't help the card that we're dealt. Some people are born complete arseholes, and some people are decent, you know, and I claim to be decent, you know, and I stand by it. But anyway, I'm going to win and spend time with the family, because it's now 6:10 and I'm loused for the day. You know, I've just had a day where I'm constantly thinking about shit, but You know, I'm not going to let it consume me. Anyway, guys, you take care, and I'll catch you in the next video. 1010 over and out.